program starts in Good evening and welcome to the 2020 Independence Chamber of Commerce Annual Banquet, presented by Community America Credit Union. Tonight, we celebrate a century of dedication to supporting the local business community and start charting our path for the next 100 years of service to our members. We'd like to thank our sponsors who are making this event possible. Our elite sponsor, Speaks Chapels. Dinner reception sponsors, Central Bank of the Midwest, Alyssa's Flowers, Fashions and Interiors, Cornell Roofing and Sheet Metal, Centerpoint Medical Center, Truman Medical Centers, Lakewood. Supporting sponsors, McLean Companies, GEHA, Barber Concrete Company, Northrop Grumman Corporation, Truck Movers, Bar Sponsors, McCown Gordon Construction, UMB Bank, Dessert Sponsor, Stewardship Capital, Coffee Sponsor, ACS Services, Hemco Corporation, and a very special thanks to Community America Credit Union, who is our presenting sponsor for tonight's banquet. And now, please welcome our Master of Ceremonies for the evening, Mr. Whitney Watson.
Hey! Nick, how is everybody? I planned for 3 minutes of applause, so you have to do a little better than that. Sorry. Keep us on track. Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Independence Chamber's annual banquet and our celebration of the Chamber's 100th anniversary. It's something, isn't it? It's going to be a very special night, and I hope you're ready to laugh because we have one of the funniest men alive with us tonight. Mr. David Keckler is Now, before we get started, I want to give you a couple of quick announcements. Some very exciting things going to happen toward the end of our program. First, we are going to have a live auction of a football, not just signed by Patrick Mahomes, not just signed by Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, but a football signed by the entire Kansas City Chiefs team. Someone tonight is going to take that football home with you. Not only that, get this, folks. Our main sponsor tonight, Community America Credit Union, is going to draw for 2 tickets to tomorrow's game. And all you have to do to enter that drawing, if you notice on your table, there are entry forms. Just complete those forms, and when dinner service starts, the chamber staff members will come by and pick those up. Now, at this time, I'm going to ask Pastor David Clappin to join me on stage. We're going to pause and give thanks for our many blessings. He's coming. Pastor Clappin is from the East Side Church. Thank you, Pastor.
Appreciate it. Let's pray, and as we do, we'll pray for the Chiefs. How about that? All right. God, we thank you again for a great city. We thank you for the 100 years of faithfulness and the leaders that are before us and the leaders that are present now. So I ask that you'll bless each and every one of them, all the businesses and the organizations that are represented here tonight, that you will just enhance the things that they do and accomplish to further our city for you and to, Lord, just make a better and a bigger difference in what they do. We also ask you, God, we do have a team here tomorrow that play, that you'll just help them win. We know you will. You're the best. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor. Now, how great is it to be at Arrowhead Stadium and not have to pay $60 to park? Isn't that great? It is great to be here tonight. Just think about this. In less than 24 hours, just a few feet from where we are, there will be thousands of slightly inebriated people screaming at the top of their lungs. Now, if you regularly attend the Independent City Council meetings, that's nothing new to you. But if you've never been, it's really quite special. Celebrating 100 years really is something to be proud of. And I'll tell you what makes it even more special tonight is we have somebody with us tonight, believe it or not, who has been active in this chamber for the entirety of the chamber's existence. Where is Bob Glazier? Bob, there you are. Oh, Bob. Bob is actually one of my favorite guys. He's a great guy. Don't worry, Bob, they're going to bring your applesauce in a couple of minutes. No, he and I have become buddies. We've spent a lot of great times together on the golf course. And I'll tell you, here's a guy. He's 127 years old, I think. He just bought a set of $5,000 Xexio golf clubs. He can barely walk from the golf cart to the tee box. In fact, most guys have a caddy to carry their clubs. Bob has a caddy to carry Bob. But he is a great guy, someone I admire very much. The saddest part of that situation is he's 132 years old. He's still a better golfer than I am. It really is sad. When I said that, I know a lot of people were offended. It makes me want to die. Don't get too excited, Brad speaks. I'm not going to die today. When I die, you'll be the first to know. I will tell you, Brad's another person I've really come to know and admire during my time on the board. The first time we went to lunch, it was at Ophelia's or, Cafe Verona. It was one of Cindy McLean's 43 restaurants on the square. I can't remember which one. But there was this little old lady sitting next to us, and she had this terrible cough. I mean, it really was pretty sad. And every time she coughed, though, Brad would get this twinkle in his eye. It was like he knew that he was one step closer to retirement in the Caribbean. It's Aruba, St. Thomas, Turks and Caicos. It really was something. But no, we're very thankful for you, Brad, everything that Speaks Chapel does for us. In full disclosure, my wife did tell me that I shouldn't make some of these comments tonight. Because, Northrop Grumman, we lost the contract to operate Lake City. I'm going to be looking for a job sometime very soon. She did say there might be someone there tonight who would want to give you a job, and I held her hand. I looked her in the eyes. I said, honey, there's only one person that I'm going to need to impress tonight, and that's David Keckner. David, please take me to Hollywood with you. Please, man, take me away from all this. Thanks, buddy. I love you too. I haven't paid my dues in the clubs like you have, but I have paid my dues. Have you ever tried to get a laugh in a corporate budget meeting? It is not easy, that is for sure. We have a number of distinguished guests in the audience tonight. We want to take a moment and recognize them and thank them for what they've done for independence and for our chamber. We have a number of past chairmen of the Chamber of the Board with us tonight. So as I read your name, if you'd please stand, and then we'll applaud you all at the end. Terry Steele, Jonathan Zur, Tom Waters. Stand, please, when I say your name, Tom. Brad Speaks, Cindy McLean, Dr. Patty Schumacher, Steve Maurer, Roberta Pooh Coker, Bob Glazier, of course, Carol Subass, Karen Downey, and Brad Constance. Thank you all for your leadership over the years. We also have a number of elected officials with us this evening from the Independent City Council. John Perkins, please stand, be recognized. Karen DeLucci, Scott Robertson, and Mike Huff. Thank you, council members. Independent School Board members, Greg Finke, Eric Knipp, Denise Fears, Blake Roberson, and Carrie Dixon. Thank you for everything you do for our great schools. From the Fort Osage School Board, Sharon Dankenbring, Diana Rice. Thank you very much for being with us tonight. And from the Blue Springs School Board, we have Brian Denny with us tonight. Thank you for being with us, Brian. Also joining us to share a resolution from the Missouri House of Representatives is State Representative Rory Rowland. Please welcome him to the stage.
It is my pleasure to be here this evening on behalf of my colleagues in the Missouri House of Representatives. How many of you know Representative Bill E. Kidd? There we go. Bill E. Kidd said, make sure he says, I say his name as Bill E. Kidd. Who would have thought? We also have, also signed the resolution is Representative Robert Sauls. And on behalf of the Missouri House of Representatives, we want to recognize this historic moment. And in recognition of this historic moment, I wanted to take just a second. And as I was on the treadmill today reading a book on coaching, the book had a question in there. What would you want people to say about you 100 years from now? What is your legacy that you want to leave? What is the legacy that you want to leave with your colleagues? And so I asked myself that question. That is a great question for the chamber. So this evening I asked a number of you, and these are the responses I heard from the colleagues here this evening who I talked to earlier. I said, what are some words that describe the Independence Chamber of Commerce and the legacy it's left and the impact it's made on our community? And they said things like amazing, ethical, visionary, survivors. They help the community grow and prosper, achievement and accomplishment. One of my favorites from a good friend of mine was resilient. Because imagine this chamber when it started in 1920, that they had to go through the throes of the Great Depression for a number of years, and World War II, and the Korea War, and the challenges they faced throughout the history of the Independence Chamber. Other words were vibrant. One of my favorite was fun, energetic, but one of the most important was caring. And I could do a lot of the whereases, but on behalf of my colleagues, Representative Sauls, Representative Bill E. Kidd, we want to present this to the Independence Chamber for your 100 years of service, and we wish you many, many more. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Representative. Thank you, Representative Rowland. Unfortunately, Missouri Governor Mike Parson was unable to join us this evening, but he wanted to offer his well wishes from Jefferson City. Please, if you'd take a look at the screens.
Hi, I'm Governor Mike Parson. I want to take a moment and congratulate my friends in Independence on reaching an important milestone. The Independence Chamber of Commerce has a long history of supporting the business community, skilling up the workforce, and investing in infrastructure across the city of Independence and Jackson County. Over the years, the Chamber has influenced important legislation, giving the next generation the tools they need to succeed. Congratulations to the Chamber on reaching 100 years of service to the business community in Independence. May God bless Independence, may God bless Missouri, and may God bless the United States of America.
Thank you for that kind greeting, Governor Parson. Well, tonight we have a very special guest joining us. Lisa Ginter, who's the CEO of Community America Credit Union, has a lot of love for Independence. She grew up here with her 9 brothers and sisters. She has ensured that Community America is highly engaged in the Independence community with multiple branches through support of various independent nonprofit organizations and as the official banking partner of our Kansas City Chiefs right here at Arrowhead. Lisa is known across Kansas City for her big heart and fearless leadership of Community America, and she has grown to a $3 billion organization. She is regularly referenced as one of Kansas City's leading CEOs, and in 2019, Community America was named Nonprofit Connect's Business Philanthropist of the Year and a best place to work in Kansas City. We invite you to turn your attention to the screen to learn a little bit more about our presenting sponsor, Community America Credit Union, as we welcome Lisa Ginter to the stage.
Today is a new day. A day we've been waiting for our whole lives. This is the beginning of something special. Of something people said was never possible. We've put in the work to get to this moment. To have this opportunity to come together as a team. Everyone knows KC is on the rise. But what they don't know is we're just getting started. Community America, powering the rise of Kansas City.
Oh my God, I still get chills from that commercial, I swear. I mean, honestly, tomorrow is going to be a big day. Tonight is a big day or a big evening for the Independence Chamber. And as you said, I am so personally happy to be here and excited to celebrate with Independence. As he said, I've grown up in Independence my whole life. I was born and raised here. You know, interesting thing, I can remember I went to grade school, Nativity. I see the Baker family over here. I went to Nativity and then went on to St. Mary's down in Independence Square, met my high school sweetheart, fell in love, my love of my life. I have 3 kids, and all of it comes back to Independence. I remember walking up after practice and going to, was it Velvet Freeze on the square, and catching the bus to go home. And you know, while maybe St. Mary's and Velvet Freeze isn't around, the one thing that really stays true about Independence, that really speaks to my heart, is that it's still a community that cares about people. Rory said that. It's a caring community. And what we want to do is help people thrive. And as that commercial said, you know, we're on this journey with people. They're on this journey in life. And as far as we know, we get this one shot here on earth. And we want to help people thrive. You know, people that may not have the means to do what they can do. We're here to help them in this journey and help them get on a path to thrive. And I couldn't be more honored tonight to be a part of this celebration. 100 years, you know, you think back to what the founding fathers said 100 years ago. It's like, where would Independence, what's the chamber going to do in 100 years? I think those founding fathers would be smiling today to look at what's gone on in this community. And it's because of all of you here in the room tonight. So I celebrate all of you. Cheers to the chamber. And then tomorrow, go Chiefs, cheers to our Chiefs, because I think we're going to bring home this Super Bowl. I think we're going all the way. But congratulations to all of you, and thank you for allowing us to be here.
Thank you, Lisa, and thank you, Community America Credit Union, for serving as our presenting sponsor this year. We also want to extend our thanks to Alyssa's Flowers for the beautiful table decorations. Yeah. Our elite sponsor, Speaks Chapel. Let's give them a big round of applause. And Stewardship Capital, who is our dessert sponsor this evening. Thank you all very much for your support. Now, please enjoy your dinner. And I will tell you, at the end of dinner service, if you want to move your chairs around so you have a better vantage of either the screens or the stage, feel free to do that. But I'll be back with you shortly, and we'll kick off tonight's program. Enjoy your dinner. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and get started once again. How was that dinner? Wasn't that fantastic? For banquet food, that was great. Really enjoyed that. Once again, if you're sitting out in the sides and you have a block of view, feel free to move your chairs around. We're going to have a great time. There's a lot of empty space right here in front of me. You're welcome to come to. Well, as we celebrate 100 years of the Chamber, we want to take a look back at some of the history of the organization. The first chairman of the board of the Independence Chamber was Colonel William Southern. That was known that anyone who wanted to start a business or who was interested in entering politics didn't do it before they got the permission from Colonel Southern, and that included Harry Truman. As the publisher of the Examiner, he carried a lot of weight. Now, the old saying that you never pick a fight with a guy who buys ink by the barrel was never more true. Historians noted that Southern was a leading advocate for forming a Chamber of Commerce to unite the business community to speak with one voice in matters of independence. No one remains from that early decades of the Chamber, but we asked some of our most tenured members to give their perspective about the start of the Chamber. Please turn your attention to the screens.
With the town growing and with people coming in, I think they saw a need to get a concentrated, compact, organized group that could do the things that a lot of people were trying to do on their own.
And they banded together and got behind the efforts to create the chamber and to make it prosper.
The Independence Chamber of Commerce was that stimulus that brought people of influence and of means together, because the chamber can do for you what you can't do for yourself.
One of the most significant events has obviously been Harry Truman. I mean, how do you not connect Harry Truman and independence?
What are cities that can say that a president actually was born and raised and walked the sidewalks here in our community, and you can retrace those steps?
Truman is listed among the 5 best presidents we've ever had, so it's a pretty nice honor for independence.
Good evening, everyone. We're so glad to see everyone here. Well, one of the final privileges that I have as the 2019 chair of the board is to award some very special honors to some very special individuals. I would like to announce a couple of those award winners that were not able to be with us tonight. The first award is the Ambassador of the Year Award, and the ambassadors are the face of our chamber, and this recipient is someone who is actively involved in the chamber. They attend and they volunteer at events, as well as help other members increase their engagement and recruit new members. This recipient is chosen by his peers. Each year there's always many worthy candidates, but the honor this year was presented to Jeff Griffith with Pinnacle Bank. Let's give him a round of applause in his absence. The next award being our Lifetime Member Award. And this award is not given out every year, but it seemed most appropriate to give it to this year's recipient, Mr. Dwight Barnhart. Dwight has served this chamber in a variety of capacities over a number of years, and we so appreciated his advice, his ideas, and simply his love for this chamber. Let's give him a round of applause while he's enjoying the warmth of Florida. Okay, our next award is for Distinguished Service. This award is being presented to someone who has served on the board of directors for a number of years and was our own chair of the board in 2018. He has and continues to be the lead on our Public Policy Committee. He's always there immediately whenever that phone rings. When he's not reviewing legal contracts for us, you might find him just running the main stage at the beer garden during the Santa Calagon Festival. It's 4 days straight. He barely comes up for air. The guy most definitely has a diverse skill set. Please direct your attention to the screen, and let's hear from Jonathan Zur.
Service to me is an opportunity to give back. The community has done so many things, and the Chamber has done so many things to provide me with business opportunities, professional opportunities to advance, whether that be lead or involvement in the board. Mostly the service is the opportunity for me to be able to return that benefit back to my community and back to the Chamber. The thing I've enjoyed most about my service back to the Chamber has been my time at Santa Calagon. For myself and my family, we make it an entire weekend event. I get to work at the beer garden. I spend all of my day at the beer garden, and for that I've found that to be a very rewarding service opportunity. As long as you guys let me continue to sling beer at that place, I will do so. I am humbled and honored to receive the Distinguished Service Award from the Independence Chamber of Commerce. I look forward to many more years of service with the Chamber and within the community. So I'm very appreciative of being recognized now, and I look forward to many more opportunities to continue to serve.
Let's give Jonathan a big hand. Thank you, Jonathan. Okay, our next award is for Distinguished Board Member. This individual always has a smile, a positive attitude, a willing to lend a helping hand and jump in whenever where is needed. He spent countless hours helping to arrange our entertainment for Santa Calagon and going over all the requests every entertainer has and making sure those demands are attended to. He also has his Tipton, Missouri connection to our speaker tonight, so we appreciate his help in making that happen. Now it's time to hear from Eric Canoe.
I've probably been with the Chamber probably about 12 years. Right after I joined the Chamber, I was asked to join the Santa Calagon Committee, so that's been my impetus the whole time I've been here, pretty much my passion. So what drives us about Santa Calagon? I think for me, it's just the giving back to the community part of it. I do it because it allows all the vendors to come in or nonprofits to come in, and it allows the community to have an event that they can be proud of and they can enjoy every year. And I know Santa Calagon is a passionate thing for not only our committee members, but our citizens. It is a passion. I can't really explain it. We do it because we just love it. So, Board Member of the Year, I'm actually very humbled. I really appreciate the Chamber and all that they do. To be involved with the people that work at the Chamber, volunteerism all year long, and all the people that have preceded us in the Chamber for the last 100 years, I'm really honored with that, and I'm humbled for it. It means a lot to me.
Let's welcome Eric to the stage.
Tipton connection.
You're welcome. Here you go. Okay, our final award is the Business of the Year Award. When you think of a company that has the characteristics of being philanthropic, being community-minded, generous, leaders in our community, big thinkers, able to count on, the name that rises to the top is Speaks Chapel. Thank you for serving not only the Chamber, but our entire community. Now let's hear from our friends at Speaks.
parents started the business, they didn't really view it as a business. They viewed it as their calling. And we have tried to make certain that we got people that found this to be their calling.
You know, as a kid, I wanted to be like my grandpa. He was a towering figure in my awareness. And I wanted nothing more than to be a funeral man when I grew up. I remember going to eat in local restaurants with him, and it would take us an hour and a half to get out of the restaurant because he would stop and talk to people. We'd get in the car and I'd say, "Grandpa, who was that?" And he said, "I don't know." He just liked meeting people.
From Grandpa Raleigh and Beth, to my father, Bob, to Brad, to now all of our coworkers without the last name Speaks. I can promise you, they are my family.
I mean, the Speaks way is basically just a high standard of taking care of families.
It's our ability to listen to the families and what their services will look like. It's about who they are as a family and their legacy.
I look at every family that we serve as being my family. That could be me in that seat. That could be my family member who has passed away. We're serving them as if they're our own.
We serve families in many different ways, but it all comes back down to essentially one main tenet, and that is that we serve families with our heart, to serve them with the care, the compassion, but also with the importance of knowing that each moment, each interaction is very important to this family and in this family's history.
The one thing that doesn't change is that families want their stories, their loved one, to be acknowledged seriously, taking what they are here for seriously. I don't believe that that is ever going to change.
We accept the Business of the Year award with a great deal of humility and thankfulness really to the community for being allowed to serve, but we try to live out those core values that our company's had since the very beginning. As we look to the future, things change, funeral customs change, the needs of the community change in a way, and yet the core elements of what we do to help families stays the same. People gather and they laugh, they cry, they tell the old stories, there's ritual and ceremony, and none of this would be possible without the team we have, and I couldn't be prouder of every single one of them.
Let's give him a big welcome to the stage.
Thank you. Congratulations. All right, you're welcome, Brad.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good, congratulations.
How about another big round of applause for all of tonight's winners? I do want to let Eric Knipp know one thing. If you remember, I was honored as Board Member of the Year last year, and here I am tonight. So next year, you have something to look forward to, Eric. It'll be a lot of fun. Our next video highlights the decades of the 1950s through the 1970s. It was a time of the post-Truman presidency and tremendous population growth, as well as the return of the Santa Calagon Festival. Let's hear more about these decades.
Of course, the history, the Truman legacy here, the Truman home, and the Truman Library is going to continue to bring a lot of people here that normally wouldn't come.
There's been tremendous growth over my experience within the city, which started in 1949 when the city was only 26,000 people. It's no longer a small town. It's become a great community and will continue to grow. Before the chamber really had an official office, we had our meetings in what is now the Courthouse Exchange on the south side of the Independence Square.
Santa Calagon was a big thing, particularly for me having a restaurant.
You know, it brought a lot of people to the square, and it helped business, and it was kind of good for everybody.
Not only do they provide a fun event for family and friends to come out, but it's a fundraiser for them to continue to raise funds to provide opportunities for businesses and individuals in the community.
The greatest thing that I think we accomplished was building 2 industrial parks, AID industrial parks. The city was very helpful, and the Independence Chamber was very helpful in securing the land, and those 2 parks now exist. I think that was a great accomplishment that my predecessor, Luzon Maxwell, started, and we were able to finish it in his term.
Well, tonight marks the transition from our 2019 chairperson, Terry Steele, to our 2020 chair, Sansi Bleckinger. I have a lot of respect and admiration for both of them. I will say Terry's been fantastic this past year. I've loved getting to know her and her husband. I'll tell you, she is a strong, very wonderful woman, great-hearted woman who has a husband who is, I'm just going to say it, scared crapless. I spent a lot of time with Greg during Santa Calagon, and I'm telling you, when that phone rings from Terry, it doesn't matter what he's doing or who he's doing it with. CPR stops. Does that. Sansi, you'll see, poised, very well-spoken, very confident person. I've seen her on the golf course, though. I will tell you, she uses language that would make Andrew Dice Clay blush. I've actually seen her throw her driver farther than she can hit a ball with the driver. But she is still a fantastic leader, and I'm excited to see how this chamber does this next year under her leadership. Please welcome them to the stage.
Okay, tonight we prepared letters for each other, and we're going to share this experience together. Dear Sansi, as I was preparing this letter to present to you this evening, I took a moment to reflect on our relationship and how it all began. Many, many years ago, we both attended a chamber business event, and it was a before-hours event at BioLife Plasma Services. We introduced ourselves, and the rest is history. We not only became good friends, but we both became clients of each other and have served in many, many committees over the course of time. And now, how ironic, we both stand here on this stage as an outgoing chair as well as an incoming chair. It's a true testimonial of chamber membership and what can happen by getting involved. Now, as the outgoing chair of the board and as your friend, I feel like I'm compelled to give you just a little insight on your upcoming year. You may ask what it's like being the chair. Well, after much deliberation, the best analogy I came up with is it's similar to dealing with the weather in Missouri. It's ever-changing. There's going to be some beautiful, calm, sunny days, everything's great, and then out of nowhere there comes a pop-up thunderstorm to deal with. Fortunately, you have a top-notch president and CEO of the chamber in Mr. Tom Lesnick. You have a staff that is second to none, and I just can't speak highly enough about them, along with an incredible board of directors. That team will help you get through those rough patches and get back to those beautiful sunny and 70 days. I was also blessed to have a wonderful, supportive family and a workplace to support me during those tough times, and I know you have that same support and structure in place. This year's going to go by fast, but remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Time to get your calendar out, set with a number of appointments that are recurring, such as your exec board meetings, your monthly board meetings, and your monthly luncheons. To say we have a busy and active chamber, that's a total understatement. You will have numerous opportunities to meet a variety of individuals and businesses, as well as welcome them into the chamber fold and celebrate them at our ribbon cuttings. Of course, the business before and after our events are a fun way to start your day, as well as finish it out on a positive note. Membership continues to be the main focus and foundation of every chamber. I'm excited for the membership surprises that you have in store for 2020. It's also essential to continue having a political presence in our community. We have an active public policy committee to be involved in, and there's several issues that will arise and require consideration. The legislative briefings are informative to help everybody stay up to speed, but always keep your membership in mind. Keep them in the forefront and make sure that anything the chamber supports will be beneficial to that membership. I also hope to see our Economic Development Committee continue to expand and have a bigger impact in our community, and that will also be of great value to our membership. We're growing our partnership with the Independent School District Academies, and the relationships that are forming between our businesses and those students result in huge benefits for both parties. When it comes to community affairs, we have established major events that involve the entirety of our community. We have a citywide cleanup day that's getting more folks involved every year, and I hope that continues to grow and it maybe even become more than one time a year. During the summer, we've got a summer concert series at the Uptown Market for our community to enjoy. Fall is active with that little festival called Santa Calagon. It's a 4-day Labor Day event. It feels like you're in labor with it. But it represents a major income source for our chamber, and it allows us the opportunity to provide a venue for a number of Main Street vendors, not-for-profits, artisans, and a variety of artisans and vendors. Okay, this event is worked on all year long to assure we put on a great event full of entertainment and food that we anticipate all year long. It literally takes an army of volunteers to pull this event off, and we are so blessed to have such a hard working group and committee that gives up their whole weekend to make sure this event's a success. Then, right after Santa Calagon, you will have the honor of being the Grand Marshal of the citywide Halloween Parade. That's another favorite event that our community enjoys every year. Okay, now we go on to finances. In prior years, we've been faced with a number of challenges, including financial challenges. In 2018, when Jonathan Zur was chair of the board, he worked tirelessly to get this chamber back on track and out of debt. Thanks to his and many other individuals in this room's efforts, I was blessed to begin my year as chair of the board debt-free, which was a really big deal. The challenge we faced in 2019 was a very large laundry list of deferred maintenance that had risen to the top of our priority list. I am happy to report that that long laundry list, including a newly paved parking lot, new conference room, tables and chairs, new carpet, new desk furniture, new front doors, new reception area, it's all done. And better yet, it's paid for in full. So growing up, I was always taught to return things in the same or better shape than when you received them. I am proud to be able to hand the reign over to you with a debt-free chamber. Yes, that's right, there's no outstanding debt, and even better than that, we've got some money in the bank. So Sansi, it is now time for me to stop writing, it's time for me to stop talking, and step into the shadows of past chairs. Please know I'm here for you, and you know where to find me. I hope your year as chair of the board for 2020 is full of sunny days and 70-degree days. And I am sure that prediction is going to come true because, after all, we are Miami bound, aren't we? Yours truly, your biggest cheerleader, Terry.
Thank you, Terry.
Thank you, Terry. Dear Terry, don't step into the shadows quite yet. We want to congratulate you on a remarkable run. As I look at you this evening, you almost seem giddy because you had now the best gig ever, past chair. Am I right? Terry, you've led our chamber with grace and dignity. I will remember your tenacity and perseverance as we face head-on any challenges in 2020. And it's your behind-the-scenes work that inspires me. You got in the trenches and you led by example in accomplishing the work of our chamber. And you did it with fun. I will try to carry this legacy forward as we start the journey to the next 100 years. And I know I can count on you to serve as we strive to accomplish our 2020 priorities. Number 1, restart exploration of a festival park concept which would bring a permanent facility to Santa Calagon, as well as other community events throughout the year. Number 2, address the issue of quality housing and safe neighborhoods with the goal of developing new opportunities for homeownership. Number 3, explore the feasibility and development of community-owned broadband to provide high-speed data services to all residents and businesses. Number 4, enhance visibility and exposure for members. And number 5, Chamber for All and inclusivity. We want to make sure as an organization that we are meeting the needs of members regardless of their size or membership level. So Terry, thanks from all of us. And on both a personal and professional level, I'm excited to follow in your footsteps. Please, everyone, raise your glass for a toast to Terry and to sunny and 70-degree days. Cheers. Go Chiefs.
One more time. Ladies and gentlemen, Terry Steele, Steve Bleckinger. Thank you. Woo! That water's strong over here in Missouri. Well, the most recent decades saw a lot of changes in Independence and in the Chamber itself. The Chamber embarked on its biggest campaign ever in an effort to construct a new building on Truman Road, and several key ballot issues were approved that enhanced the quality of life for all citizens. Let's hear more about these decades.
I was involved with a lot of things as first, you know, to Hope House and in the foundation, the community foundation, which is now Truman Heartland. It was hard in those days. It was hard because women were just not accepted much in leadership positions. I think, you know, I tried to pave a way in a good way for women to come behind me.
I think it's come a long way for whatever reason. I think there's more women involved in business. I think there's more women involved in the community. And we've had some great leaders.
I feel we've become a lot more diversified. It seems like we're on a roll of women in leadership positions here at the Chamber.
It was a wonderful experience. It was a life-changing experience for me to be chairman of the board.
And the Chamber was really the key for me. I really took to the Chamber. I was one of the board members for the LEAD, which was a great program for youth. Some of them weren't so young. They wanted to take that program. I've always had a good time with all of it, though.
And this great building that we're standing in was significant, too.
The Free Enterprise Center was a really exciting time.
When we raised $1 million in pledges, we named it the Free Enterprise Center because of the fact that we wanted to give the message to the community that it was not just about chamber activities, it was about free enterprise in Independence.
So much has been accomplished by the Chamber and the city and other people coming together. The little Blue Parkway, for instance.
Then we had to get it financed, and we did. And that was probably one of the biggest accomplishments. The Center of Independence is out there.
I work at Main Event, which we also have Bass Pro and Silverstein, and so much has grown just around that I-70 corridor.
For years, decades, Independence, the Western Independence, had been struggling because that portion of our community was in the Kansas City, Missouri School District, and which was horribly performing district, and even worse, the Independence portion of the Kansas City district got even the worst treatment of all. And so they asked a lawyer to get involved, and so I did. But most importantly, they asked the Chamber, will you take the lead? Because somebody has to be out in front. And so the Chamber said, we'll take the lead. And then it was the Chamber's job to bring it all together, to spirit it forward, to be the collecting point for all of that momentum. We got the law changed. We got it on the ballot. It passed overwhelmingly, and since that time, Dr. Hurl keeps telling me it's the most historic transformation of an area for school education he's ever seen. It's truly been one of the best things I've ever been involved with, and the Chamber was integral in making that happen.
Well, I first became involved with the Chamber on the Santa Caligan Fair Board that really grew and grew and grew and became part of the city fabric.
With the McLeans and others, the square has become a go-to place.
The square has gone from nothing to a most amazing place. It's a tourist villa.
The square is the heartbeat of the city. It's the center of the city. And without it, you just can't have a healthy city. And so it really became our passion to keep growing and just get that heartbeat back.
It's a revitalized Independence.
All right. Well, now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment we've all been waiting for. I'll tell you that I was fortunate enough to sit next to David at dinner. We had Rory Rowland, David Keckner, and Whitney Watson together. A lot of talking, not a lot of eating, I'll tell you. It was quite a group. But actor, writer, and producer David Keckner, he has appeared in more than 100 movies and television shows. So I'm going to read the entire list right now. Just kidding. He is an alumnus of... There we go. Yeah, you're getting paid by the minute, aren't you? Yes, sir. All right. That's good. Keckner got his first break as a cast member on Saturday Night Live and has since become an instantly recognizable face. You've seen him on the big screen in such movies as Talladega Nights, The Legend of Ricky Bobby, which I believe is the proper full title of that movie, right? Get Smart, Thank You for Smoking. He was in Wag the Dog. But he's perhaps best known for his roles as Todd Packer on The Office. Any Office fans out there? And as one of my favorites, Champ Kind in Anchorman, The Legend of Ron Burgundy. And Anchorman 2, The Legend Continues. You've also seen him on ABC's The Goldbergs, one of my favorite TV shows. He was on CBS's Superior Donuts and Showtime's Twin Peaks. He's a recurring character on Fox's American Dad, Netflix's F is for Family, All Hail King Julian, The Epic Tales of Captain Underpants, which actually was my nickname in college. I don't know. And now he stars in a brand new show that is absolutely hilarious. If you haven't seen it on ABC, it's called Bless This Mess. Has Lake Bell, Dax Shepard, and Ed Begley Jr. When he's not busy doing all that work, David performs live stand-up comedy across the country, and he creates original content videos for his YouTube channel, which is called Full On Keckner. Now, on top of all that, one of the things he is most proud of, and we should all be most proud of, is his work with the Big Slick Celebrity Weekend, which is absolutely great cause. They've raised millions of dollars for Children's Mercy Hospital right here in Kansas City with Rob Riggle, Paul Rudd, Jason Sudeikis, and Eric Stonestreet. And if you didn't like him before, I think you can tell by what he's wearing tonight, he is a die-hard Chiefs fan. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. David Keckner.
Hello, Independence. Yeah, this feels like home. It's one of the rare occasions I don't have to tell people where Missouri is. And more astonishingly, I don't have to tell you where Tipton is, which is where I'm from. I swear to goodness, I've had... All right, I hear you. This happened once. I had an Uber driver out in Los Angeles taking me to the airport, and I was heading home to Missouri, and she said, Missouri. Is that near West Virginia? Not to suggest, she was 26 years old, so we don't have a future here in this country. Choices, right, gang? Choices. You're chamber members. You've got to make hard choices every day. How do you improve your business? By making good choices. Good choices, good friendships. You're known or considered who you are as a person by the people you hang out with. We all have all kinds of friends. Maybe you have friends from church or from work or school. Maybe you have, some of you might have a friend that's known as a drinking buddy. Oftentimes that's not a friend, it's just a drinking buddy. Somebody you probably would not hang out with if you yourself didn't drink. The type of person will call you on a Wednesday and say, hey man, want to grab a cold one? And then you look at your watch and it's 11 a.m. But you say yes, because day drinking always seems like a good idea. But you're just going to have one, and that's the first in a series of lies that you tell yourself, because the next thing you know, you did not go back to work after lunch. It's now 11 o'clock at night. You and drinking buddy are hitting on every guy and girl in the place. And you and drinking buddy finally leave the bathroom, and the bartender seems very upset with you. And he says, hey, you two hobos, it's time to go. I've told you 4 times. That's a photo booth, not a bathroom. So you wander out into the parking lot. You cannot remember if you drove. But just then an Uber pulls up, and the Uber driver says, Stephanie? So you say, yes. 4 Ubers and 7 bars later, you and drinking buddy find yourselves on an abandoned railroad bridge. Now you're both naked, and you're giggling and trading punches until you fall in a shallow creek. That, my friends, is the relationship I have with my wife. It's a hot marriage. How hot? 5 kids. That's pretty good, right? 5 kids, 1 wife for now. We'll see. They say that children teach you things about yourself that you didn't know before you had these children. People say, Dave, you've got 5 kids. What have they taught you about yourself? Here's what I've learned. I don't like kids. No, I've got 5. I like one of them. One of them's good. I tell you, I'm tired. Our youngest keeps getting in our bed at night. And because she's our youngest, and you know you secretly cherish it when your kids come in your bed. The old ones, you know, you'd always go, okay, you're going to stay all night in your own bed. With the young one, you secretly hope that she gets up and comes to your bed. She must wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and think, oh, shit, they probably miss me. She gathers up her blankies and she waddles down the hall, kicks open our door, then high jumps in between us, then has elbows and knees and assholes all night, and you don't sleep. But she's our youngest. You treasure it. She's 25 years old, but come on, gang. Choices. Like I said, I'm from Tipton, Missouri. And I saw on the video earlier, independence kept growing. Tipton has, in a way. I remember growing up, I grew up in the 70s, so the census in Tipton in 1970 was 1,999. And then for the 1980 census, it jumped all the way up to 2004. Which informs us that 5 kids that graduated high school along the way couldn't find a way to get out of Tipton. Cut to 1990. Tipton grand total of 2014. Wow. 9 more kids wayward, couldn't find their way out. And the year 2000 jumps up to 3,500. And I think, Dad, Tipton nearly doubled. I said, what happened? He said, well, Dave, they moved the city limits to include the prison. Which is a true story. One could argue that half the town is locked up. Tipton, that's a dangerous place. Sadly, it's also, you've got a Chamber of Commerce. I don't know if Tipton has one because that's our major employer. We used to have pants factories and shoe factories and small motor manufacturers. Now it's just a prison. But I will say one proudful moment. Tipton, this year, I know the Chiefs are celebrating 60 years. This year in Tipton, Missouri, and if you're down there second week of June, you find yourself on Highway 50, drop in. My father's passed, but he's celebrating 60 years of Keckner manufacturing. You can applaud to that. Yeah. Thanks, Whit. Was like, I'll help him. I didn't know I was a buffer. The only reason they put me between Rory and Whit so they didn't fight. I'm out there earlier, and I was introduced to Rory, your representative. And I was, okay, representative from Independence. I thought, okay, just be nice, Dave. Just be nice. Now, I was shocked to find a really rare, it's like a rare bird in Missouri. He's an elected official, and he's a Democrat. No, we can go ahead and keep applauding. There's plenty of us here. You don't have to hide anymore, gang. So I think, Rory, you got a good legacy there in Independence. Give it time. Maybe you'll be the second president from Independence, Missouri. Why not? This crowd got like, hey. Let's talk politics. It's the year. It's the season. 2 female chairmen back to back. Who says we can't have a female president? Huh, gang? Maybe you guys on the other side should find another candidate. Tipton, a little different. We don't do things like everybody else there. We're not fancy. I remember my 6th grade class trip, and this is a true story. Jefferson City is 43 miles from Tipton. You think you meant 6th grade, you might go visit the state capitol. No. For our 6th grade class trip, our 18 members of the St. Andrew's Grade School got there Monday morning. We all got into separate cars, and we went all the way across town, a quarter mile. We went to Yant's Meatpacking Plant. Now, normally I'll ask people, are there any farmers in the room? I'm going to look around and say, yeah, I think you're probably all farmers. Or is it just me and Knipp? What? Are there no farmers in the room? This guy got his back to me. I'll raise my hand. So what happened that day? We all get there in the morning. We're at Yant's Meatpacking Plant. They bring a cow in, and then they put the cow in a squeeze chute. I don't know if you know what a squeeze chute is, but I noticed a popular item this Christmas was a comfort blanket. It's much like that. Holds that cow in a nice comforting place. And there's a thing called a head gate where the cow unknowingly puts their head in there and they holds it tight. And then there's a thing you can't get at the store. Well, not at a Target, something like that. As a .22 rifle comes into play, boom, bang, the cow goes down. And then we pull the cow up by its hooves, and then they cut its throat, and the blood goes down to drain the floor. I don't know where it went. There wasn't a basement for us to view. This goes on for 2 hours. We watch that cow be processed from tip to tail. Halfway through, there's Mr. Young's, hi, kids, this here's a ribeye. Now, the amazing thing is, a week before this event, there was not a permission slip sent home to the parents say, hey, on Monday, your child is going to go to Yant's Meatpacking Plant where they're going to witness a cow be butchered, tip to tail. That wasn't necessary. The next day, after we all witnessed a cow be slaughtered there in Tipton, Missouri, in front of a bunch of kids that are 11 years old, not one parent called to say, what did you make my kid watch? They're more likely upset, what, no free beef? No, my last name is a bit of a puzzle, I'll admit. Keckner. You look at it, it's wrong. I know. I didn't know that until I left Tipton. Spelling and grammars, I guess it's encouraged there in Tipton. A lot of Germans, Keckners, Knipps. I will say tonight, Tom said, do you know Eric Knipp? I'm thinking, well, There's 1,000 Knips. I don't know. I said, you have to tell me what his dad's name is and what his grandfather's name is, then maybe I will know Eric Knipp. Of course, then when I saw him, of course, yes, I know Eric Knipp. That's the kid that was in high school with me. Now, Knipp is actually Nip, but we say Knipp. Clethermus is Clethermus, Kirkemeyer, Kuttenkeller, Ketterland, a lot of Germans. Still say their name the way it was said. Now, my name is Kechner. Koechner. And again, not to say that Tipton doesn't have fine educational institutions, but nowhere in the English language does the OE make the short E sound. And no one ever corrected me. It's like, Kechner, don't you mean Koechner? I'm like, I don't know. So they're all saying it wrong, blissfully ignorant. Hillbilly, how you doing? I've met Germans where it's Koechner. Okay, well, that's not going to fly. I always wondered, as a kid, clearly all these Germans that moved to the small town, they knew how to say Koechner. And at what point did it change? Were there a bunch of Kechners that are feeling or plowing a 1,000-yard field? They get to the end of it, they had nothing to talk about, and one turns to the other like, hey, how we say our last name? Oh, Kechner. Now, when I got Saturday Night Live in 1995, they say, well, you can change your name, or they also tell me I could have hair. Now, I could have hair, I guess, and suffer a life of ridicule, because you can imagine me coming back to Tipton with a full head of hair, just be derisive all day long. In fact, when I saw Eric, I'm like, I'm not sure he's a Knipp. He's got hair. I've never known an adult Knipp doesn't have a bald pate. So I'm going to have to do a DNA test later tonight. You got a little in the back. Yes, I know. Closer to thee. You'll get there. You'll get there. But I did have a point. Oh, so when I got into show business, I just kept it as Kechner, even though I know it's wrong, and it's probably been an impediment to me having more fame. Or most people might go, no, the impediment to not having more fame is you're not that good. You're okay. You're fine. But I have 36 first cousins on my dad's side, so there's no way I go, hey, guys, I don't know how to tell you this, but you're saying it wrong. I don't think I'd be invited back to family reunions. I'd like to be. But, in a small town, you learn practical things. You learn how to do things on your own, right? You learn to run a skill saw. You know the difference between a flathead and a Phillips screwdriver. You know how to plunge a toilet. Now, in my home, that is a feat that can't be accomplished by anybody else but me. I'll come home at 6 o'clock like, Dad, the front toilet's clogged. I'm like, well, anybody? Take a run at it? No? Okay. The plunger has to be the simplest tool on the planet. There's no mistaking the business end of a plunger. No one ever said, well, I put the stick part in. Ladies, the plunger, what's the action on the plunger? The mechanical action is, what is it? It's like a churning butter, right, girls? Who knows how to churn butter? Ladies? No one's ever churned butter? No one knows how to do this. Wow, are you from Missouri? Churning butter, it's this. Why is everyone so afraid of this? Oh, you're all dirty. Okay. Wow. I thought there'd be some good Midwestern values here. I'm disappointed, quite frankly. And the main action that a plunger engages is it's a vacuum. It's a sucking motion, something we all learn to do with our first breath of life. You wouldn't be here if you didn't suck on your mother's teat, right? That's the mechanical action. Those two things together unclogs the toilet. It's not that hard. It's something everyone here has done. There's no shame here, gang. We're just talking about a body suckling on a teat. Now, a lot of you maybe have lost your desire for that action, but I guarantee you, every man in this room would probably still welcome an opportunity, because there's a lot of good gentlemen in this room, if a woman stood up right now and said, I want somebody to suckle on my teeth. Every man in this room, well, I'll go help that gal out. 2 lines, boys, 2 lines. And if in that moment another lady stood up and she'd have 5 or 6 glasses of Prosecco and she said, I want to suck on that titty. Those gentlemen in those lines, like, clear out, boys. Let her go. Front. Right to the front. I didn't know it was going to be that dirty. Hell, I said worse stuff on TV. In prime time, gang. Terrible. I just want you to know, I'm not like the characters I've played on television in the movies. Champ Kind, Todd Packer, horrible, despicable men, not like me. I remember sitting in the airport in L.A. one time. I had my wife and my 5 kids there, and we're getting ready to board a flight, so I got them something to eat from a fast food place, because nutrition's important in my home. And I'm sitting with the kids. We found like three seats together, so I'm putting the kids' burgers and fries together and all that stuff, and this couple was observing and said, you know what, we're going to give you our seats because you don't seem like the guy you play on The Office. And I said, it's about fucking time, lady. Now move it. Let's go. I'm not like those 2 guys. Those guys are both, they're misogynist, they're racist, they're xenophobic, they're jingoistic. That's not me. That's the President of the United States, gang. Come on. Now, if I've lied, you can come up and tell me later, but I don't think I have. Let's keep it away from politics, shall we? How can this whole room have one common goal and we all love the Chiefs? It doesn't matter what your political label is. We're all just like the Independence Chamber of Commerce. We want things to go well for everybody. And if you didn't know my political affiliation, you wouldn't care. You'd still take me at face value. But I will offer you this. If you don't know, if you're having trouble wondering next year who you want to vote for, and you're like, I'm not sure. Look, just get a mail-in ballot. Send it to my house. I'll fill it out for you. It's fine. It's fine. But like I said, there in Tipton, not a lot of choices. Jeff City was the closest movie theater, 43 miles away. In my hometown, hell, entertainment is a cattle auction. That's fun. That's going to go on for days. We all know where that cow is going to wind up, there at Yant's Meatpacking Plant later. And again, they're open on, Monday through Friday. If you want to go and they should put a big old plate glass viewing window. Come on down, watch the slather, gang. But I love watching cattle auctions when I was a kid, especially if there's someone from outside of the county who you didn't know, and they all have a different particular style. And one day there's a fellow that was having a lot of personal problems, and that was especially fun to watch. He was up there, what am I bid? What am I bid? I've got a beautiful heifer right here. I need a $100 bill, dollar bidder, one now $25, dollar bidder, 100 now 25, 150, 150. My wife gave me divorce papers this very morning. She met a man on Christian Mingle. Now I'm broken in half, 150 now 75, 150 now 75. No woman has touched me in 2 years. No man has touched me in 3. 175 now $200 bill, dollar bidder. Poisoning all the bird baths in town, it is me. Hey, Miss Johnson up front with those take old buddies, remember what we did when we were kids while your sister looked on. $200 now 25, 200 now 25. Who screams at the faceless people in their dreams? Who screams at the faceless people in their dreams? 225, now 50. Did I mention this cow might be trans? 250, now 75. 250, now 75. I made a weightlifting video and posted on YouTube. Me lifting weights in my basement. It has 0 views. 7 billion people on the planet, not 1 view. $300 now 25. 325. Who wants to bid on my broken dreams? Sold to Miss Johnson up front with those take-old biddies. True story. I'm going to ask you guys a philosophical question. If I have a birthday party for a 3-year-old little girl, 20 years from that event, will she remember it? No. Then why would I spend $500 on an event that never happened? And 20 years from now, if she says, Dad, did I have a birthday party when I was 3? I'll say, yeah. And she'll say, are there pictures? I say, oh, you don't remember the fire? Well, you have the party because you're a good parent. You invite all the people that you're never going to meet anyway because it's the 5th kid, and you really are kind of done. You're full on dads and everybody else. You just want to get it over with. You know, this is a 3-hour dance. Just get in here. You've got the bouncy. Let me tell you something, folks. It's a birthday party for a 3-year-old. This is not a drop-off. I'm not a preschool or a daycare. You bring a kid, you're staying, especially if you have a son and there's a bouncy involved. If you have a bouncy at your house and there's, I don't know, 4 or 14 little girls in that bouncy, it's still called a bouncy. Now, if you have 2 3-year-old little boys on that bouncy, it's called Fight Club. 20 minutes into this party, some lady comes up to me and says, I think it's time to cut the cake. Hey, lady, I'll decide when it's time to cut the cake. And I know that's gin I smell on your breath, which I kind of appreciate because it lets me know that you don't want to be here either. And then the aerial princess I've hired for this party walks in, and now I have to explain to a 3-year-old little girl why Ariel has a back tattoo of a dragon fighting a snake. And I would like Ariel to explain to me why she's brought along a King Triton that I did not hire. And can you please tell the king to stop rifling through my medicine cabinet? There ain't no Vicodin in there. I ate the last 2 20 minutes ago. And then the doorbell rings. I'm a good host, gang. I go up there, say, hey, I'm Dave. Thanks for coming. Meet the dad. Hi to the kid. Hi to the mom. And the dad, I said to the dad, my name's Dave. He goes, yeah, we've met 3 times. I'm like, well, meet a lot of dads. And he goes, we all do. I'm like, okay, kind of shitty. Fine. But then I think, wait a minute. You say we've met 3 times, yet I have no memory of you. Is that my fault? Or is that on you, dude? Maybe you need to be more memorable. Why don't you run out and get yourself an eye patch? Because I sure as shit will remember any man I've ever met with an eye patch. Now, let's say I'm at this party, and for some reason, I've invited Pope Francis. Seems like a good guy, up for fun. Maybe he's a big fan of Piranha 3 Double D. You're welcome. If in the middle of this party, I'm sitting there, hanging out in my kitchen, knocking back a 40 with the Pope, we're both Catholic. If in that moment, some dude with an eye patch walks in, I'm going to have to say, excuse me, Pontiff, I've got to go meet somebody. Then I'll walk up to the dude with the eye patch and say, hey, man, where'd you get that shirt? And then I'll work my way up to the eye patch because I'm cool like that. I'm not uncool like New Dad, who gives me nothing to remember him by. It's not that hard to be memorable. Mumble for all I care. You go to a cocktail party, who's the one guy you want to see? Mumbles. Yes, there's my night. What's happening, Mumbles? No shit, Mumbles. Deviled eggs at a cocktail party, I don't know what to say. You're telling me you went to the host bathroom, took out his toothbrush, and placed your genitals on it? I like you, Mumbles. I like this guy. He's memorable. Or you could be the most memorable person anyone has ever seen. The person we all hope shows up to that party. I'm, of course, talking about Camel Toe Kenny. We all know Kenny. Filled with pride. He's got a pair of Wrangler jeans 2 sizes too small. He wears them up just below his belly button. He walks in about halfway through. You're all sitting there at the party. All right, hold on. 12 o'clock, Kenny just walked in. I'm going first. Good Lord, Kenny. I'm going to guess. I'm going to say it's ball, split, ball, cock. I'm seeing ball, split, sausage. I'm going to ask him, hey, Kenny, how you doing? First of all, thanks for coming. Everyone's very excited you're here. Can I have a quick peek at your undercarriage? Kenny, what did you do tonight? Did you go on tire package split thigh? You did? I guessed it. Come on in, Kenny. Unlike New Dad, who gave me nothing to remember him by, so I had no recourse other than to have New Dad's car towed away. And then I blamed it on Mumbles. Who the hell is he going to tell, right? 3 more hours, gang. Don't you worry. Beautiful night. Thank you for coming here. I want to say thank you to Sherry. Is it right, Sherry? Outgoing chairman? Terry. I got it right. Terry. I was very excited to hear that you are on budget, so I will be paid tonight. Thank you so much. And good luck next year to Sansi. Let's just say Saucy. I'll never get it. I was curious if you accomplished, I looked at some of the goals for next year, and I want to help you out. If you look at the Chamber's website, one of the goals is a 10% increase in social media. So tonight, I got the right crowd. I'm sure you're all on Instagram. It's going to be a challenge. Talk to your kids. There's an app we want you to just follow. It's going to help us. It's not going to help. If we get everybody in this room on Instagram to follow it, that's the one person they'll be following on Instagram because they don't know what it is. That's fine. What else? We're going to have what was it? Something about ambassadors. There's going to be a change in ambassadors, which means some of you are going to get fired. And you want to get some rating up to an 8. Is that correct? Where's Terry? Tom, help me. She left? Boy, this crowd, you get a trophy, and I'm like, I'm done. I got chicken in my pocket. I ate a steak. I got my trophy. I'm good. I'm good. What are some of the other ones? Those are the ones that stood out to me. Increase the awareness. Oh, I figured get the thing to point out. It's like a restaurant review. So members of the chamber are just going to go and put the review in the front window. I got a C. I don't know. I'm just making shit up now. I thought I might be able to pull that one together better. What's that? Affordable housing? Do I have to help people get affordable housing? Okay. Well, there's plenty of box containers. I'm sure we can just haul some of those in. Go down the rail yard. Oh, I do want to say something in all seriousness. I just do want to highlight something I heard someone say tonight. Restoration House. Who did I meet from Restoration House? You guys know what that is? Yes, Restoration House. There we go. Shout out to Restoration House. Folks, and I know this isn't funny, and I'm not intending to be funny. It's a problem. Human trafficking is real, especially in the Midwest, because they fly under, and we're all good Western people. We don't like to meddle in anybody's business. It's time to meddle in people's business. There are young girls being trafficked right now in this town, in this state, and in the state of Kansas, everywhere, especially in the Midwest, because nobody says anything. But if you'll do one thing, I don't care if you follow the Independence Chamber of Commerce on Instagram. There, I said it. But I do want you to follow Restoration House. Get involved. Save your children. These are our kids, gang. I know no one could sleep at night with the idea of a horror of someone else has your daughter or your son. So I know it's a downer, but it's important, gang. You're here to pull together. You're here to pull together for the Chamber of Commerce of Independence, Missouri, home of the 33rd President of the United States. Tonight, we stand in a building that's part of the Truman Sports Complex. What a beautiful legacy that is. And I'm so proud to be here. I will say they've been trying for 3 years to get me to do this event, but it's always fallen on my daughter's birthday. And thank you so much for having me here so I didn't have to be there tonight for that. But I'm so lucky that it happened this year, Tom, because not only is it the 100th anniversary of the NFL, it matches and blends nicely with the 100th anniversary of the Independence Chamber of Commerce. And tonight we stand here on the eve of potentially bringing the Lamar Hunt Trophy home to Kansas City. Lamar Hunt, of course, his name is on the trophy. It does belong here. He started in Texas, in Dallas, had the Dallas Texans. He wanted to join their little league. They said no. Okay, he said, I'll start my own. And he did. Then we got the Dallas Texans. And then they ran him out of Texas. Thank God. And we came up here, Midwest, got ourselves a Super Bowl. Had some up years, some down years. Still the same family. They've never moved this team again. Can you say that, St. Louis? Good God, St. Louis. You got married once, you lost that one. Again? I can't help you, town. Kansas City, and you know, early on, one of the early AFL title games was the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Houston Oilers, another, I'll say it, failed franchise that was dormant for a number of years, and they wandered in the desert, I'm guessing, till they found Nashville, Tennessee. They were looking for some hope. And they came up. They finally got close, and then inexplicably they're here. I thought I was going to be going to Baltimore tomorrow, but no, we're right here. Those silly Texans, those silly Titans. They should remember this. Hell, I can remember a team, we spotted them 24 points and still beat them 51-31. The Titans managed to score 14 for an entire game. Shit, we'll give you 14 before we even leave the locker room. We'll make a difference. It's destiny. 100 years of the Independence Chamber of Commerce, 100 years of the NFL, 60 years of Keckner Manufacturing, 60 years of the Kansas City Chiefs, and tomorrow we will be bringing home the Lamar Hunt Trophy. Whit, I don't think I can top that. I better get out now.
David Keckner, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's hear it for him. How about him? Not bad. Pass, fail. Come on, this is your side. Okay. I know you're all hoping you can go home. That's the beginning. This is 3 hours more of just a Q&A, gang.
Yeah, we've got a Catholic and a Baptist on the stage at the same time. This isn't going to work out well.
That used to be a mixed marriage.
There you go.
Now you know what a mixed marriage is? I know I'm in Missouri. Now a mixed marriage, if there's two people of different races marry. Oh, I know. It's scary, right? I think it should be illegal to marry within your own race for the next 50 years until we get a beautiful caramel color we can all agree on. And one day, my descendants can get a tan. That would be nice.
We've got a car for him, right? He's not driving? Okay. Hey, listen.
I was a poli-sci major. I'll come back here like Hillary Clinton and run in my state. I know I'm doing a bunch of deficit spending tonight, but gosh damn it, Rory's gave me hope. You guys might elect a Democrat after all. It's not that hard, gang. Mail-in ballots. Hi, Whit. I'm Dave. How are you?
Dave.
I'm trying to lose the crowd again.
That's okay. That's right. I'm fully capable of doing that myself. Thank you very much. Hey, so if you don't regularly attend monthly chamber meetings, you really are missing out on opportunities. So at the last meeting, we gave everyone in attendance an opportunity to ask questions for David Keckner. And I have a few of those we're going to go over tonight on that.
By the way, Whit, I looked on the website. There are 100, the Independence Chamber of Commerce sponsors 180 events a year. That's like every other day. I don't know how much money you guys have, but you love to spend it.
Well, there are a bunch of Democrats around here, David.
I love it.
You know that. Okay.
Spending money on people is like giving them tax break, you know, it trickles down.
So, first question is,
yes, sir.
How did growing up in Tipton prepare you for life in Hollywood?
Well, how did it prepare me for life in Hollywood? Let's see if I can put that together. Well, what I've discovered is, look, it doesn't matter where you are. I know that people think L.A. and they hate it immediately, and I've always been puzzled by that. L.A. is a beautiful place. I know it gets a bad knock because, you know, they think there's just terrible people out there, but I hope that I'm evidence that there's not just horrible people. It's a beautiful city. It's gorgeous every day. If you like the beach, there it is. The ocean, there it is. You like the hills, there it is. You like mountains, there it is. You like the desert, there it is. Everything is in L.A. It's a gorgeous place, actually. And I believe, so how it's different, it's only, I do believe that L.A. is a place where people do dare to dream. And I think that's the only thing. That's how it prepared me, because I did dream in Tipton, and I knew I could do something. You know, I've never been unemployed one day in my life. I started working for my dad when I was 7 years old. Now, I didn't want to, but I did it. And I know Eric Knipp has been working since he was 4. And I doubt that Eric Knipp has ever been unemployed. All you got to do is be willing to work. And if you're willing to work and do something and then put a dream on top of it, it can happen. So that's all I can say about that.
Well, you work very regularly, which is probably pretty rare for Hollywood. I mean, all the movies, all the TV shows. And,
well, I have 5 kids. I don't have a choice.
Yeah, I know, but how do you explain that? Why is it that you have been able to work so steadily and other people maybe
Honest to
haven't?
God, I will tell you, it is the work ethic my dad gave me. Now, my dad didn't preach about working. He showed me. My dad had an 8th grade education. My dad was dyslexic. And back then, they didn't diagnose anyone with dyslexia. Cecil Kechter is one of 8 kids. And they said, well, Cecil's too dumb to go to high school. They didn't send my dad to high school. Because, you know, you didn't have to, at 16, you didn't have to go. Hell, this kid was 12, and that was it. And I got to tell you, he had shame in his heart. It was hard for him. But he built a business that, like I said, is going to celebrate 60 years in June. The man had a mind of an engineer, but he couldn't see letters, and nobody could ever diagnose that. And he had a good work ethic, and he worked, and he worked, and he worked, and that's what he showed me. And he loved, loved his wife and kids. And you felt that, and I knew that was the right path. And that's all you got to do. Have love in your heart and callus on your hands. That's a T-shirt right there.
There you go, or a bumper sticker.
I still have a callus on my left hand.
I'm not going to ask.
Well, from working for my dad, but I'm not going to say anything more because it's untoward. Anyway, go ahead.
So you left college. You went to Benedictine College first and transferred to Mizzou.
Yep. M-I-Z. Take that, KU. I was a political science major, like this lovely couple. And now the thing is, I'm from Tipton. I never met an actor in my life. I didn't know, this is before the internet. I had no idea how a person became an actor. And so the consideration of taking theater classes never hit me. Deep down inside, I did want to be an actor. But again, you know, having dreams in a small town is sometimes threatening to people. Because if you say, oh, I want to go do this, and if that other person doesn't have a dream, they're going to stop yours because then they feel bad for not having one. So I kind of kept that to myself. So I was pursuing a political science career because I wanted to be on stage, I think. And then by the time I was in poli-sci, by about the 3rd year, I realized, like, oh, I'm never going to make it. Because I realized in politics you have to have a couple of things. Either be from a moneyed family or a political family, or you have to be the smartest person in any room that you walk into. I'm none of those things. So I knew I had a doomed political future. So then I quit going to school, which is a great idea. And my dad said, well, Dave, I don't know what you want to do, but you don't want to go to school. And I thought, wow, that was easy. So then I bought the car I was driving. It was his car, so I paid him $400 for a Plymouth Grand Fury. And I worked 3 jobs there in Columbia, Missouri. And then I visited Second City in Chicago, and I saw that they taught classes. Like, oh, I guess I could have called. But anyway, so I wrote down the number, and then I went up there and started taking classes the next summer. And then I went back home, saved my money, and then moved up there and took classes, and that was that.
And the rest is history.
Mm-hmm.
So who are some of your comedy heroes?
Heroes, I would say I was always a big fan of the Marx Brothers, Abbott and Costello, the first cast of Saturday Night Live. I was a big fan. I remember watching that very first episode when I was 13 years old, and I will tell you, I had it in my heart. I was like, wow, I want to do that one day. So, you know, things can happen.
What were your favorite TV shows when you were growing up?
Well, we had 3 channels. So, and most of the stuff, my parents are a bit conservative, though they were Democrats. Things I couldn't watch. Thanks, folks. Thanks for coming. You got a sitter? You got a sitter? Show not that we don't validate. Favorite shows growing up. I wasn't allowed to watch Laugh-In. I wasn't allowed to watch, what was it, Combat. Wasn't allowed to watch the Smothers Brothers. I remember more of the things I couldn't watch than the things I could watch. What were some of those? I don't know, Love Boat. They weren't favorites. They was just what was on. Sanford and Son, All in the Family.
Well, there are a lot of remakes coming out of Hollywood these days. Is there one show that you're hoping they do remake because you think there's the perfect part for you?
No, I just hope that they keep making Bless This Mess. Which really is kind of a updated, what is it? Green Acres, yes.
Great show. Okay, another question. Things hadn't worked out for you in comedy. What was plan B?
Probably restaurant manager.
Any restaurant in particular?
No, whatever would hire me.
Okay. David, many notable celebrities have undergone assorted cosmetic procedures. Anything you'd like to confess to tonight?
I'm keeping it. No confession. I don't know what I would do. It's hard to improve on perfection, right, ladies?
This question is from Melissa Kent, actually. I know Melissa. I work with Melissa. She is from California, Missouri.
Can you read this in front of everybody else?
Absolutely.
Okay.
She's from California, Missouri.
I thought it might be salacious. That's
California, Missouri, right down the road
You
from
used to be our rival until you talk about investing in your town. California and Tipton were rivals for my whole life. And then one year, Tipton decided not to invest in a half-cent sales tax to build a new high school. California did, and is still thriving, and nothing's happening in Missouri except prisons. Invest in your town, that's all. I'm trying to stay on theme here, folks. I'm trying to stay on topic.
Okay, hey, real quick, speaking of California, Missouri, when you hear the song California Girls by the Beach Boys or David Lee Roth, whoever, do you think of girls from California, Missouri, or the state of California?
I do not think of girls from California, Missouri.
Right answer.
I'm not saying that they're bad people.
Correct answer.
I still have a rival in my heart for California, Missouri.
Well, here's her question. Oh, my gosh, this is so rude. I
love rude. I've already done rude.
Mousse or hair gel?
For me? Well, I'll tell you, I'm in a hotel, and I want to thank the Chamber for putting me up tonight. In that hotel is a very small bottle of shampoo. I'm going to take that small bottle of shampoo, and I'm not going to use it all year because I often go to hotels, and I take the shampoo bottle. I have enough shampoo to last me for 50 or 60 years. So I will say au natural.
There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Now you know what type of California, Missouri people. Questions they ask.
Questions they ask.
Interestingly enough, my wife and I are staying at the Marriott down on the plaza. There's also a bagpipe convention going on.
Very nice.
So we will be serenaded all night long by beautiful bagpipe music.
Well, I'm lucky. I'm at the Intercontinental, and there's a convention of swingers there. So it's going to be a fun night for me.
I'll send some of the bagpipers over. How about that? Hey, now you mentioned that you are nothing like your characters from, Todd
Anchorman
Packer
and The Office,
or Champ Kind.
Yes.
Is there a character you portray that does closely match your personality?
I don't think so. I mean, in all honesty, you always get to play something fun and different. I mean, the guy I play on Bless This Mess, I guess is close because he's from a small town.
What about Bill Lewis from the Goldbergs?
Bill Lewis likes the Dallas Cowboys, so no, not that.
Okay.
Plus, Bill's just got a really sad heart. I'm happy. Yeah. So not really, which, like it or not, I'm a good actor. So I can play a lot of different things.
Are you comedian first and actor second, or is it the other way around?
Yeah, comic first, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Last question, then we're going to move on and get these folks home. Office, #1 show on Netflix.
I know, crazy, right?
Isn't that amazing? Give us your favorite behind-the-scenes story about that show.
Favorite behind-the-scenes story of The Office. Well, this is almost, you don't know this guy, so I'll tell you how it happened. So, I don't know if you guys are aware, but the American Office is based on a successful British office. And it's unlike what the American Office is now. And, of course, their culture is much different than ours because they, kind of had a caste system there, right? So everyone fell in their place, and you didn't really hope and dreamed for a better life. That's kind of what that version was. Now, for the first 3 episodes of The American Office, they were just changing a few of the references in that script for the show, and that was it. That's what you had to audition for. I auditioned for Michael Scott, but I couldn't do it because I loved the British Office, and I can only hear the way he was doing it. Ricky Gervais was doing it. Steve Carell had never seen The Office, so for him it's like just another script. So I didn't get that, and they're doing it. I'm up in Canada shooting a movie, and again, mentioning Canada makes me think, and again, I don't want to get political, but I have to say, I'm all for this wall they want to build. My only issue is they've picked the wrong border. I'm sick and tired of those dirty, greasy Canadians coming down here and taking our hockey jobs, Whit. And you don't have to build a wall. You just put a sand berm all along the northern border. Those Canadians will walk up to it. Well, Mother, looks like we came to the ocean. So I'm up there shooting Snakes on a Plane. Again, you're welcome. And apparently they had cast the part for Todd Packer, and they shot for a couple days, and sadly, it just wasn't working out with the actor that they'd chosen. And I don't know if you've seen The Office, but Todd Packer is a despicable human being. I don't know why you'd clap for that. He's an awful guy. And so they're thinking, who can he use? And again, describing the character, Carell goes, how about Keckner?
Do you send the guy they originally cast a fruit basket every year or something?
No, I don't.
You should.
That's
right. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, David Keckner.
Thank you. Congratulations on 100 years independence.
Hey, listen, why don't you stick around? Stick around for a second.
Oh, we're going to take pictures? Okay.
Well, no. We have to do a live auction right now. We're gonna auction off a Kansas City Chiefs football. So let me tell you how this works. This is actually going to be a donation to the Independence Chamber Foundation.
Bring it on up.
So
yes,
a good percentage of what you spend on this football, autographed by every single member of the Kansas City Chiefs, this year's Chiefs, not the 1986 Chiefs, by the way, it's this year's team, will be tax deductible. Make sure you talk to your tax advisor about which percentage, but feel free to give, and you don't have to pay for it tonight. We will actually work something out with you, and that way, if you don't have the money tonight, we can do it. So what we're going to do, it's a live auction. Someone's going to win it right now, and we're going to start the bidding. Now, here's the thing. I researched it. A Patrick Mahomes autographed football is around $500. This is Patrick Mahomes and everybody else. So we're going to start the bidding at $1,000. Do I hear $1,000 donation to the Independence Chamber?
Now, Whit, if you'd like, I'll sign that football, and you have to go back to $100.
Yeah. Go ahead and have a seat, David. I can take care of this myself. Do I have a bid for $1,000?
Yes. Where is it? $1,000. It's easy. It's done. 1,000.
Do I have 1,100? 1,100. Do I have 1,200? 1,200 right there. 1,300. 1,300.
Yes.
Got 1,300. 14.
Come on, gang. Get those hands up. Give
1,400. Tax deductible.
I got one back
Kansas
here.
City Chiefs.
You at 14? 1,400. Right back here.
I need 15. I need 15 on this side of the room. Come on, folks.
Right
Tax
here,
deductible.
15.
We got 15.
I got 15.
Do I need 16? I have 16.
Beardsley, 1,600.
I need 17.
He's got to have it.
I've got 17. Do I have 17?
Where is it? Where's Bob? She's doing it. That's easy. 17, 18.
She just bid against herself, though,
That's
David.
fine. 18,
All
yes?
right.
No?
1,800.
18. $2,000 right here for Shields, right? Did I say it right? No, hell no. What is it?
What do you have back there?
Speaks. Speaks. You know, I was talking to the Speaks family earlier. They said, you ought to come on by and see us. I said, eventually. All right. $2,000 for Speaks. I got a guy in a red hat.
2,100?
2,100?
Need 2,200.
22? Come on, Speaks.
That side, what is up
Shields.
with that?
What is it? Shields?
Got 2,300, Brad Speaks.
23?
All right, need 24.
24 for Mama?
Got 24 in the
Where's
back.
25? 25 back there, yes. 26? Bradley, 26? Where's 26? Hey, guys, get in.
Yeah, this is fun.
We're at 26. Where's 27? There she is, 27, 28, 29. Yes, sir. Very good. I'm rooting for the in-law. Where are we at?
27, I think.
Let's just make it 3,000. All right, 31. Young lady, young person, 31. It's easy, pocket change. You guys, I know you guys get all the money from the meters. 31. How about back there? You guys can play. I know there's deep money back there. Where are you? Let's go, gang. You're at 31, young person, young lady, Lisa, right? You're at 31? Are you at 31? Yeah? Just say yes. 32, mama. 32. 33, you're at 33? 34.
Got 34 in the
34.
back. I need 3,500.
4,000. Sorry.
4,000. I need 4,100. I need 4,100.
41. Yes, 41. 42. 43. Just want to go 5. Who wants to go 5? 5,000. You want to go 55? 51.50. I don't do the half. 51. 52. 53. It'd be great if he was a gynecologist. Beginning and end. Here we go. Where are we? 50, 51. You're at 56. 57. 57. Hey, guys, pool your money. It's like the AFC over, NFC over here. All right. So you're at 57, right? 58. 58. Red jacket, yes. You're at 58. Mama, 59. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, no, you. You're out? Okay. We're 59. Yeah. Let's make it a $6,000 bill. Why not? You just want to make 10,000, we can stop this and let people go home? So we're at
6,000, I think.
$6,000. You've had it? 6,000?
Hold on.
Chance.
Let's give my side of the room. Come on, guys. Seriously. I will tell you, I walked in tonight. The first word someone said to me was, Lori Dean Wiley walked up to me and said, I thought you'd wear a tux for this tonight. That's how my night's gone, folks. Can I hear $6,050?
No, don't do that to him. 6,000 going once, twice. Young man, stand up. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, David. $6,000. Here you go.
It's not glued down, so be careful there.
Stand. Give me your mic, David.
Right here.
Wait, get over here. Standing with him is the two guys that stole his money. Thank you, sir. Yes. Thank you.
I'm just hoping he didn't take when I said you don't have to pay tonight too seriously. We're never going to see that money. Who knows? Okay, now I'm going to ask Lisa Ginter to come back up. Now we're going to draw for the 2 tickets for the football game tomorrow. Kansas City Chiefs versus the Tennessee Titans.
There she is. Put
We
it right
have
up here,
2
Mama.
tickets.
Here we go. Put that right up there. I got here early and I filled out 100 cards. I hope it goes. There's a thing right here. Look at this. Bingo, 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 bingo. All right, Mama. She's not looking. Oh, I'm reading it? Well, we'll see. I told you about my father. God, he's written a novel. Here's the reason I put my name on this piece of paper. Matt Medley from Independence, Missouri.
Matt Medley.
Double M, Matt Medley. What did he win, Lisa?
He won 2 tickets to tomorrow on field level. I don't know what.
2 tickets to Paradise. Do you want to sell those tickets, sir? I've got a broker. Matt Medley. Oh, we don't have the tickets here. We're just hoping to get some by the end. Come here, Matt. Matt Medley. Hold this. Nobody can see it. Get in the middle, right by this pretty girl. Get over here. No.
All right. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Lisa. And thank you, David Keckner, for helping us out with this.
All right.
Now, folks, if you want to get a picture with David or an autograph, he's going to be right up here afterwards. He'll stay as long as you need, so please feel free to do that. Well, we are now ready to begin the next 100-year history of our chamber. What a future holds is anybody's guess, but we asked a few of our members to look into their crystal balls, and here's what they thought the next century might look like for the Independence Chamber.
I'm not sure how to answer that question.
Well, I don't know. That's a tough one.
In the next 100 years, how would I know? I have no idea what it.
Well, in the next 100 years, Bob Glazier will still be around. He'll be bringing in members, and we'll have the technology to be able to clone him so that we'll have little mini Bob Glaziers running around.
Oh, really?
I see the Independence Chamber doing nothing but continuing to accelerate.
I know what I hope. I hope it continues the way it's going now.
You know, I think what makes business and the chamber and the community special and how it works together is just neighbors helping neighbors. Particularly evident in the business community. We succeed when the community succeeds.
Certainly the Chamber has been a wonderful partner with education in the Independence School District, and I think that's going to be even more important as we go into the next century.
I hope that we will continue to provide the educational system for our students, continue to grow and have opportunities for businesses to be involved.
And encouraging entrepreneurs, small business owners, that they can come here for the support, the community, the resources they need.
I think the next big thing that the Independence Chamber is going to take on is to unite our community in the world of cyberspace and cyber community. I mean, how do we as businesses unite to help our local community when we do business around the world?
We'll probably see a lot more technology, but I don't think that they will lose track of what made them so important the last 100 years. And that's the networking, the people-to-people contact, knowing that there is someone there in your corner.
The chamber, I think, is going to be the connector that brings that together, because people are still going to want to have that personal connection.
I think the chamber has to continue to adapt. There's always going to be challenges, there's always going to be opportunities. So I'm looking forward to the future. I think it's going to be awesome.
It'll be fun to see what the next 100 years holds for the chamber. I think it'll be a lot of excitement. I think we'll have a lot of new businesses come join our community.
We have a great vision, and there are so many people that want to be a part of it. The chamber's where it's at.
We've talked about a lot of things in our chamber board meetings about economic development and affordable housing and things like that, and I think the chamber can take an active role in that.
My crystal ball view of the next 100 years for independence would be a very livable, walkable, user-friendly for all ages community.
In the next 100 years, I think we're going to continue to see an emphasis on the historical aspects of the city.
Of course, in my capacity, I see Santa Calagon growing and becoming a better event every year.
I think we're at the point in our history in independence that the next few years are going to be the most important years for the chamber. And the chamber is poised, and the city of Independence is poised to just do great things.
I've been around Independence since 1965, and in 1970 we held our 50th anniversary. We're all amazed to see what great strides in the 50 years that the chamber has made.
Ladies and gentlemen, Thank you for such a wonderful night. Thanks for coming out. Be sure and cheer on our Chiefs tomorrow. And if you had one too many tonight, make sure you get someone to drive you home. We want to see you back next year for the 101st celebration. Have a good night. God bless you. If you want to see David Keckner, feel free to come on up.